Alright, I noticed this Telson goes all the way to the middle of the shell, so let's make it bigger actually. Grab it and go to sculpt mode, and with the grab brush selected, x-axis enabled, let's go ahead and actually make it a bit taller. At this point we basically destroying the shape. After adding some detail, sculpted details, it's gonna be looking good. Maybe around here is enough. It's not that curvy. Kinda the right shape. So to make the ear pots, let's go ahead back to the object mode and maybe borrow one of these faces. So enter edit mode and grab this face maybe and duplicate, enter P and selection. Back to object mode, grab this new shape right here and let's move it here. And inside kinda enter edit mode, and let's work with the vertices. So move this to maybe around here. It's taller than the Telson, as you can see here. So let's go past the Telson. A little bit wider at the end. Right there, and hide it inside. We have a little bit of meat supporting this, so maybe not completely inside the shell. Let's leave it right here. Alright, now let's go add a edge loop right there. And another edge loop right in the middle, so right here. And get kind of curvy. And kind of right there. Right. Now let's grab this point and hit Control Alt X and origin to selection. Now we can rotate it based on this vertex. So let me go ahead and grab this edge loop and go out to make it curvy like this. Bit more at the end. What is this? A little bit something like this. Back to object mode. Let's rotate it. Now let's go ahead and add a subdivision surface. It's gonna become with subdivision surface because we actually copied and duplicated from this shell. It's gonna inherit the subdivision from there. So The topology is actually nice. Except for the end. That's not gonna be a problem, I believe. So let's go ahead and apply the subdivision. That's our base mesh right there. Now you see this one is a little bit too curvy, as I said before. So let's go ahead and enter edit mode, X-ray, and make it kinda less curvy. Maybe around here. So back to the Ureopods. Okay, now let's push it a little bit in and down. We need to make a room for the another, maybe a little bit smaller one. So before do anything, I need to maybe rotate the bits like so. Right, now let's go ahead and add a solidify. Like so. Let's keep the solidify live. And duplicate this shape. Shift D, just click or enter, and rotate based on the local axis. Goes up and right about here. Goes inside the other one. And maybe a bit smaller. Now let's grab this and push it a bit out. Maybe even this one a bit more, like so. Let it be outside. Let me grab this shrimp Sketchfab. The upper one is outside here. So So a little bit of sculpting needed, but before that, Control A, apply scale, Control A, apply scale, back to a sculpt and right view. Maybe a bit curvy. Alt Q, switch to the other one. All right, like that. So let's go ahead and apply the Solidify for each one of these Ureopods and enter edit mode, edge loop, tide edge loop for the outside, and maybe even no edge loop right here. So let me add and test this theory by adding a surf modifier. Yeah, let's make it kinda stretchy right there. Let's GG move this one a little bit higher. Yeah. Let's go to the other one. Control R and make it really tight. Maybe add another one at the middle. Same thing for this one. Not bad. So, first of all, let me join this tool by holding Shift, Ctrl J. Now apply subsurf modifier. Alright, now let's go ahead and mirror this to the other side. So generate and mirror and choose the shell as a mirroring object. Right there. It's good actually. That is good stuff right here. Maybe this shape right here, this one, grab a face, Ctrl L, and rotate it. Based on view, maybe a little bit towards center. Ctrl L. And rotate this one based on view right about here. All right, and let's go apply the mirror. Ctrl A, apply scale, enter the sculpt mode. Let's go brush and auto masking by topology. No symmetry, and let's make it a bit random. Right, so now let's switch to the shape and add a subsurf modifier. Then sculpt a little bit right here. Symmetry is enabled. Let's go ahead and by using the inflate brush, add a little bit of muscle right here. Apply the subsurf modifier. switch to Tilson, Europods, and push them in. Right about here. Now let's go ahead and switch to the shell. Move this towards outside, right there. And let's go apply the subsurf modifier. Right, not bad. A little bit of detail needed on top of everything. So the actual shrimp is gonna hide behind the breadcrumbs or crumbs, but the shell and his tail parts is gonna be visible. So those need a little bit more love. So first of all, let me switch to the shrimp and let me save the file. Let's call it shrimps. All right, and add a multi-res subdiv. Let's subdivide it a bunch of times. And maybe add a dent right in the middle. Again, it's not going to be visible. Maybe a bit denty right here. Holding shift, you can smooth that up. And also, if you wanted to add a little bit of randomness to the shape, we can use the inflate brush right there. And use texture or noise to add that as well. So let's see the result. Maybe a bit rounder here. And need a bit of detail. This part, need a bit of inflate. Right, that's enough for the shrimp itself. So for the tail part, so I'll Q switch to that and generate multi-res and subdivide a bunch of times as needed, maybe 4 or 5 times, maybe 2 times for the viewport. So let's switch to the scrub brush. and add a little bit of detail to the surface. Some lines, those are gonna help when we texturing this shape. Can use them as curvature stuff or as Blender language pointy stuff. Let me hit Alt Shift Z and disable the overlays. If you hold Control, you can actually fill the area. Right, now to the center, let's switch to the Draw Sharp and find the center. Hold Control or just simply change this one to Add. And let's go ahead. Switch to bottom view. Let's go ahead and add a line in the middle. Make this middle part a bit sharper. Right there. Right. And maybe a bunch of lines parallel to this line right there. And need a bit of random details. And I like this. I'm gonna add more details if it's needed. So switch to the pointiness right there, the Telson. Actually going to combine them together, so the naming is pointless. So let's go ahead and hit Alt Q. Switch to this one. Add the multi-res. Subdivide a bunch of times and switch to the scrub brush. Maybe a little bit more, 4 times. Same deal, switch to bottom. And with the Draw Sharp, smaller brush. And also positive. Now switch to the Eurypods. Same deal. First of all, let me apply the subsurf modifier and multi-res. 4 times enough.